Right, so I've got this mod I want to show you. It starts off at Fort Hagen, and you have to jump and talk to this guy. He's voiced, because it's an Xbox, not a PS4.
Please, stop!
His voice is
Help me!
croaky. I think he might have a Dutch accent, this modder. Just guessing. Some of the names. It's called The Great Old Ones by HasG01.
It's too late for me. I wrote it all down. Read my letter. You are my only hope.
Anyway, he gives you a letter, and as soon as he gives it to you, he pops his clogs. So you've got to read Ramon's letter to find out what you've got to do next. I've managed to clip out all the bits where I'm like going through my itinerary or passing stuff to things or unlocking doors and stuff to speed it up a little bit. It'll take forever to find things otherwise. To whoever it concerns, I'm afraid my remaining time is short, so I'll have to write down what has befallen me over the last couple of days and hope it falls into the right hands. I was making my way to the slog when I camped out overnight among some feral ghouls. I thought this would be safe, as they ignored me as usual, but only a fool would venture near them. That night, however, I was rudely awakened by what turned out to be a bunch of cultists who were rounding up the pack I was among. As these cultists didn't seem of the friendliest kind, I decided to play dumb and pretend to be a feral ghoul. We were brought to what turned out to be an abandoned military facility located under Fort Hagen. Continuing my masquerade, I managed to overhear several of the cultists. It turned out to be a cult of what they call the Great Old Ones, and their goal seems to be to summon one of them. As weird cults aren't that uncommon in these times, and to each his own, I would normally say, live and let live. I overheard some disturbing conversations though, and this isn't a harmless cult. They are into human sacrifice, and I overheard them making plans to raid a place called Oberland to get some fresh ones. The place I was held turned out to be the power plant for Fort Hagen, and these secret facilities beneath it. The main temple, however, I overheard was located in the facility's research and development area. As these facilities all seem to be fully operational, I dread to think what these madmen could accomplish having access to it, especially as their high priest seemed to be some scientist or geneticist. I knew I had to escape and warn someone, or get help to deal with this situation. Last night I got the opportunity when some gunners entered through the emergency exit. In the ensuing confusion I managed to get out, not without getting hit by a stray bullet though. I hope that whoever finds this will put a stop to this cult before it's too late. Whoever you are, from what I gathered, Deacon Mortimer seems to be one of the leaders. I know they took some security measures even before the gunner came around. I presume they might have increased those. I've seen him making notes on his terminal. Reading those might be a good place to start finding out what is going on. Okay, so that's what I have to do. I have to go and stop this cult from rising, one of the Great Old Ones, from what terrible pit they lurking, what foul dimension they dwell upon or dwell in. Yeah, if you're not familiar with the Great Old Ones, they're from H.P. Lovecraft's work. I think he was from Massachusetts originally, so there was a lot of talk about this fallout possibly having some nods to him. I remember someone saying Far Harbour, they thought it might have a Lovecraftian twist to it, but I don't think it really did. It's got some sort of quite Lovecraftian monsters in it maybe, but yeah. So if you're not familiar with H.P. Lovecraft, if you're into horror movies, if you're into horror fiction, if you're into heavy metal especially, then you should know his work. He's done loads of stuff, but he's influenced lots of things. The Necronomicon, for example, from the Evil Dead movies, that's taken directly from his books. The Necronomicon, the Book of the Dead Names, where the names of these unholy creatures dwell, like the elder things and the great old ones and the outer beings or whatever they're called, like Yog Sothoth, Shub-Niggurath, Cthulhu himself who dwells in aray, dead but dreaming. Right, yeah, I've cut out all the opening door scenes and all the unlocking computer scenes. There was a couple of glitches in this as well, actually. A couple of crashes. I'm not sure if it was due to the mod or because I've got too much going on there or whatever. I'm not sure. Also, I should tell you that my follower is Ellen the Cartographer. That's another mod by someone called Gweecool138. Right, let's read this gunner's orders. We heard some rumours of feral ghouls disappearing in the vicinity of the Hagen satellite array. Though we won't consider this a bad thing, we don't know what is causing this. Take a recon patrol and find out what is going on there. Call it my need to know. There you go. Right, I have a little bit of a crash in a little while actually. But I just got to say, other than the crashes, I don't know if it's to do with the mod or just because I've got too many stuff going on my computer. Just the games crash every now and again anyway. But yeah, I was really impressed with this mod actually. Really, really cool. I say it's by Hasg01. Hasg, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I think it's Dutch. But yeah, really impressive. Could have easily been in the proper game itself, you know. It's a great big massive dungeon or compound or whatever you want to call it. There's loads of enemies to fight. And yeah, lots to explore and discover, and it's the way it unfolds as well is pretty decent. The way you've got different areas and how you unlock from one area to another. But you'll see that as we go along anyway. I take a bit of a bashing. Right, it crashes a little while after this. But when I came back to it, that mine I just blew out there wasn't there. But this blinking bottle cap mine that I didn't spot was there. I tried to jump backwards out of the way of it, but dog meat blocked me. Thanks for that, dog meat, you annoyance. But yeah, dog meat does like to get in the way, doesn't he? Right, I couldn't find any like special weapons. A lot of these mods you'll find like super OP weapons that you can pick up. But I didn't really see any new stuff in here. I think the only new stuff is just cultist clothing, which is just basically the Brotherhood of Atom or Children of Atom clothing, really, just renamed. But yeah, I didn't notice any like great big new things to unlock. Right, yes, it crashes just after this, and so you see a little bit of a jump. But all I do is get like, basically unback that door right by that body, right, and then you come into the action. We have feral ghoul stalkers, we have ghoul cultists, we have protectrons, and we have what do you call them? Sentry guns, or yeah, sentry guns. That's what they're called, aren't they? Automatic, them automatic guns that shoot at you when you don't want them to. Them ones, look, there they are, machine gun turrets. That's the fellas. They blow. Yeah. There's quite a few of those around. So yeah, lots. It's a very challenging mod. This one. I would definitely not come here at an early level. I've got to say, I'm level about 76 or so in this playthrough. Yeah, and it was pretty tricky. Mind you, I haven't got any really great weapons on this playthrough. I don't think I haven't got an exploding. I have got exploding bullet minigun actually, but I didn't use it much because I sort of kind of favoured the pistols first of all with this playthrough. Then I moved on to rifles when I got a few more levels up, because they tend to do more damage. Rifles, I think. Pistol. When you try and do a pistol playthrough, you can take bloody forever to shoot things. And I've got arthritis in my hands, so I don't like to be bashing the button too much. The old trigger button. I like to use VATs, and I like things to die fairly quickly when I'm shooting them. So yeah, I don't play it on the super hard levels for the sake of my poor finger joints. But anyway, yes. Yeah, I'll probably shut up. I won't talk for too long. I'll talk bits and pieces. I'll try not to just babble. I'll tell you some more about H.P. Lovecraft. So you've got all these demons. I wonder which demon they're trying to raise, actually. Whether they're trying to raise, yes, I say Cthulhu from RLA, where he waits dreaming. Maybe they Yog-Sothoth or Shub-Niggurath, the black goat of the woods of 1,000 young. I think that one is called. Nyarlathotep, the crawling chaos. Yeah, all great stuff. So I was talking about the films that have been influenced by it. There's obviously I said Evil Dead with the Necronomicon, and then also there's Reanimator and From Beyond, both 80s films that are based on his books, both starring I think it's Jeffrey Combs, I think is the name of the actor. He was really cool. He's kind of synonymous with his Lovecraft movies. I can't remember the name of the producer, the director. But I think James Gordon, no, James Gordon is the guy who's maybe I'll get Howard Gordon, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's something Gordon anyway. But that's not important. As you can see, I am shooting things good. I get surprised actually in a little while by one of these Ghoul cultists, because I think they're actually patrol. No, most enemies seem to sort of stay in their own kind of area. So I'm just sort of down here, sort of seeing what I can scavenge basically. And one of them sort of must have come from upstairs and shoots me with a bazooka. So I was quite surprised about that actually, because normally when you've got to a certain area, you're pretty cool to walk around once you've cleared the enemies out of that particular area. But I'm assuming there was a little bit of a patrol going on with at least one of the cultists. I clip out a little bit of stuff as well where I get lost for a while and I'm wandering around wondering where to go. I spent about 10 minutes looking at every single blinking computer to try and find the one that would trigger what I needed to do. But yeah, so don't be like me. Follow my tips on this video and I'll show you which direction to walk in at all times. Later on as well, I get to a room where there's some classical music playing. I'm hoping that that doesn't cause a copyright problem. I didn't turn off the jukebox that was playing classical music. At one time I did a mod review with the classical music playing in the background, then I got the soundtrack was cut off. So that might happen on this video. So you might have a bit where it's just silence and me blathering over the top of it. Yeah. picking up all the stuff. I can't help. I've just got it. It's just natural to me to just pick up what was, stuff off of people. Half the time I'm over encumbered, and half the time I don't really need it anyway. I collect like a lot of clothing sometimes, and then I don't actually give it to anybody. I put it in a storage bucket or something, and never actually get around to using it. But yeah, never mind. So there you go. Old ones, cult rags, which is pretty much the children of Atom rags, really. But it looks like. Yeah, as you can see, here we go. It's. I'm gonna shut up. I'm just talking for the sake of it now. Yeah, I just scavenging basically, looking to see if there's any notes or anything like that. Let's see, quite a lot of enemies there for a first room that you walk into. That's without all the turrets. Right, yeah, I trade my stuff with Ellen, so I'm not carrying it all. But I speed that up so you haven't got to watch it, because this video is could be long enough as it is. Yeah, so just having a scavenge. Didn't notice that caution sign. No. Oh, and there we go. Face full of bazooka. There you go. That'll teach you a lesson. Teach me a lesson to pay attention to what my surroundings are, and teach him a lesson for firing a bazooka at me. Don't fire a bazooka at people, especially not when they've got power armor on, because they've got a good chance of surviving it in power armor, and they won't be happy. See, the danger is showing up as well now. I don't think anything else comes at me.
Sweet.
I think when I'm doing recording for uploading purposes, I should just resist my innate urge to pick up every tiny little thing that I come across and just move on with the action. Oh right, yeah, red roaches. Do red roaches not fight ghouls then? I would have thought maybe they don't, because these ghouls are around here, and I thought ghouls attacked red roaches. I'm not too sure. Maybe the red roaches just scurry out when there's no ghouls around. Alright. Let's head this way, see what there is. I don't think there's going to be any enemies down here, at least not these ghouls, because they've not come to investigate the sounds of gunfire. So I'm assuming this level is cleared out. Ah, yes, so when the ghouls are away, the red roaches will play, and this kitchen has turned into a festering hole with icky red roaches everywhere. Yeah, this is the spot. I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier on. There's classical music playing on the jukebox, and it may mean that the background music, the background has had to stop. The sound in the background, the game music might have had to stop. It does that sometimes. I did another mod before, and when the background had the classical music on, all the sound had to become off of the actual video because of a copyright strike by some classical music people, I suppose. Whoever performed the music, I'm pretty sure the actual classical music is past its copyright because the person who wrote it is long dead. But I think performances of said music can be copyrighted, I'm assuming. Yeah, whatever. You didn't really need to know that, did you? Right, I've got the old, what's that weapon called? I've got the Deliverer, is it? Deliverer or something like that. I think it's called Deliverer. It's quite a handy little pistol. I think it's my third playthrough, and it's the first time I've actually used it as a weapon. Every other time I got it, I just sold it or put it in a locker and forgot about it. But yeah, it's actually quite a handy weapon. Another weapon I've never used, which is quite well known, is the Spray and Pray. I've never used it. I'm not even sure if I've actually picked it up before. I probably did, but anyway. I'm actually going to start using my mate's playthrough, and he's got the spray and pray, so I might use that. I might use it in that. Caps. Oh yeah, give me all your caps. Yeah, definitely next time I'm doing a video for a mod that I intend to upload anywhere, I won't sit around picking things up all the time because it's probably a bit boring just watching me picking things up. But don't worry, it actually picks up I will be facing more enemies soon, and I will be putting holes in them with my deliverer and various other weapons. Right, I'm working out which way to go next, whether I want to go upstairs or whether I want to investigate the downstairs area more. This is obviously where the Protectrons are housed when they weren't patrolling. Yeah, and I think I've taken them all out now. There's a Mr. Handy fuel there, so that means there's probably some Mr. Handies around as well. Oh, was that another ghoul there? Just see another feral ghoul there through the for the.
It's ours now.
How did I miss that one? Pretty sure I saw. That's not anything. I'm pretty sure I saw a feral ghoul that's just there in front of me through the mesh of the fence. Surprised it didn't attack me. I never saw it, and it obviously never saw me. Otherwise, it would have attacked. Just trying to pick up stuff from the turret guns. Right, this one requires a key, so I can't be coming this way yet. And this door here doesn't open either. Locked. Inaccessible. The main power and power relay need to be active for this to work. So that's what I'm got to do. That's what you've got to do if you choose to download this mod. Oh yeah, help defend Croup Manor. Yeah, I'm a bit busy right now. Sorry and all that, Croup Manor, but you're on your own. I don't like to, leave my settlers in the lurch and all that, but I'm busy. I'm a busy man. Oh, here we go. Feral Ghoul. There's a little barracks for them. Or they all choose to sleep on the floor. Because they're feral. They were still sleeping in beds and they wouldn't be feral probably. Once you turn feral, you're no longer interested in the mod cons and the social niceties.
Ferals.
That is the good thing about the deliverer. It's got lots of bullets. And against enemies like ghouls, it's pretty good. When you get to harder enemies, they don't do an awful lot of damage. There are many bullets, but they don't do an awful lot of damage. So it's a bit of a toss-up, really. Got low enemies. It's a wicked weapon to use because you can shoot like 10 of them in one go. If you're fighting a sort of mega super mutant, you could use your whole clip up and barely scratch it.
Nice.
A glowing one. Someone's locked it in the bog. Wonder why they locked it in the bog. Maybe it stunk the bog out. Maybe that's what it is. He's like, blimey, I'd give that a few minutes if I were you, and then lock the door on him because he'd done some nuclear powered excrement down the toilet. So bad it stripped the flesh off that skeleton's bones. It was that powerful. It's a good point. Do feral ghouls crap in the woods? I suppose they probably do. Right, upstairs we go. Actually, perhaps feral ghouls don't excrete. Because they don't eat much, do they? They can go decades, for centuries without eating. So maybe their internals have fused up so that they don't perform normally. Yeah, so something to muse about. These things, they don't exactly keep me up at night musing upon them, but I do think sometimes. Maybe we should ask Professor. Dear Professor, do feral ghouls use the lavatory? Right, let's nip across here. So see, it's a nice big place, lots of things to explore. It's definitely not been knocked together in a few seconds, this mod. I'm not sure how long mods take to build, but you know, this has got loads in it. And sometimes you see a mod that you can recognise like rooms and stuff from like previous parts of Bethesda, like from other parts of the game. Maybe they've been taken and just repurposed for, you know. But these rooms, this place looks like it's all been built from scratch to me. And I could be mistaken. It could be that I'm just not remembering. But yeah, there's Croup Manor. Oh dear, sorry Croup Manor. I wasn't able to help you. But mind you, I didn't get much time to actually help them, did I? That pop-up only came for a little while ago. So yeah, never mind. But yeah, you can't be expected to help these people all the time. When you on a big mission like this, it's just bang out of order.
That's it.
I've got to stop the great old ones from being raised. Croup Manor, you're on your own. Because there's a bit of history with Bethesda and, you know, paying homage to H.P. Lovecraft and his works. You've got the Dunwich building in Fallout 3, for example. And I think there was a mod I was playing the other day that had done, yeah, that prison mod that I was playing recently. I'm going to actually be doing that again because I did a was it Starlight Driving prison mod that I did a video of a little while back. I can't remember who the maker of it was now. Check out my links for that mod. I'm actually going to do a playthrough of it again because I had built on the settlement when I and it made it unplayable really. So I've got my old friends who used to live with me. He used to play on my PlayStation 4 as well. So I've basically repurposed his character. I've gone to his Starlight Driving, got rid of all stuff there, sent all the settlers elsewhere. So now I've put that mod onto that one. I could do a full playthrough again, which I'm hoping to do next week. So I'll do a full playthrough. I'll probably stream it because I can talk as I'm going rather than have to do the narration afterwards, which is a bit of a pain in the bum, to be honest. I could barely get enough quietness around me to actually be able to record. And then there's all kinds of mess-ups with my video putting together device. Software, is it? Yeah, software. Yes, I didn't know the words. Right, so we've got a big encounter coming up now. Got a big encounter, lots of enemies, lots of action, lots of blood, lots of bullets. Yes, trouble with the pistol. It's not very good. It's not very good aimer. So this one over there, one over there. I'll quickly change over to my rifle. I think. Quickly the rifle, straight in. Bang! 90% chance to have a 30% chance of hitting, and this is with the maximum pistol ability. I suppose that's all to do with the range, isn't it? You know, that's what the range mod is. Range stat is about, I suppose. On your weapons, you look at your weapons; they've all got different stats, haven't they? So, assuming because the range of the pistol is obviously nowhere near as good as the range of a rifle, means your chances of hitting are a lot slimmer, unfortunately. Right, so there's Dogmeat. He's quite helpful. He often goes in and distracts your enemies. Yeah, bit of bad shooting there. Just went for Sodvats. Went for the own quickness of my eye instead, and I managed to take him out. Right, be careful up here because there's a few holes in the floor. Right, Ellen, get out of the way. Right, Deacon Mortimer. Right, his computer there. His terminal there has got more information that I need. Yeah, this isn't a bad gun, but it's a bit slow for reloading and everything. It does a bit more damage. It's the gain of this one. This is when you find near to Finch Farm. There's like an underground sort of pumping station or something opposite Finch Farm. You have to crack the code and let yourself in. And alright, this weapon now, that's a Gauss rifle, isn't it? But it's, I can't remember where I got this one. I think it was a proper in-game one, but it's a legendary weapon. But I did really badly. I just think, I've got armour. I let him whack me a couple of times. I could have done that a bit more finesse. Could be a bit more finesse with my killing in this part of the game. But yeah, whatever. I'm still alive. I probably shouldn't lead so much with my face when it comes to fighting these people hand to hand. But you know, sometimes these things happen. Watch out, there's a ghoul behind you! And I'm getting stuck trying to change my weapon and forgetting what I was doing there. Yeah. So I took him out in the end. Right. Still looting. I try not to take like armour and stuff off people, but if I pick up good armour I'd like to sort of try and take it with me. I think in the end I end up leaving a load behind because I didn't want to get over encumbered anymore. and I filled up dog meat and Ellen with stuff, so I just stopped picking things up. It's hard though. I need to have more willpower. That's what I need. More willpower, more self-control when it comes to looting. Come on. Oh yeah, give some more of my stuff. Yeah, enemies I normally just take their bullets and their caps. So typical decoration. It's kind of like raiderish, but obviously rather than raiderish, it's cultish. Cultish. It looks pretty much like raiderish, but yeah, more skulls, more candles. That's how you can tell. That's how you can tell a cultist from a raider. Oh yeah, I was talking of H.P. Lovecraft in Fallout. Pickman's Gallery. Yeah, is the name of a character from Pickman's Model. Is the name of the book or short story. Right, note 1. When the High Priest led us to our sanctuary, we had no idea that it was just part of a larger system of bunkers from a pre-war military research facility, which even seemed to have its own metro system. Most of it seemed to be collapsed or in such ill state of repair that no one would dare venture there, but we had some unwanted wander in from the Fort Hagen hydraulic power plant area. The High Priest deemed me worthy of the task to secure this area. Being that this facility seems largely inhabited by my feral brethren, the few Gaul acolytes were sent to accompany me, as these creatures don't seem bothered with our presence. Whew. Yeah, nothing on the next page. Oh, yeah. Note 2. As there are only a few acolytes at my disposal, we started herding some of our feral brethren from the surrounding area to the facility to enhance our strength. If the High Priest is successful, they will make a good addition to our cult. Note 3. Our feral brethren do have a tendency to wander around, so I cut the main power and shut down the power relays. With this whole facility still operational, I dread to think of what could happen if they wandered off and caused a malfunction. Emergency power seems to keep all essential systems running. Unfortunately, the door to the temple doesn't seem to be connected to the emergency grid. Maybe this is a good thing, as we should also keep out any outsiders from reaching the temple should they get past us, as I'm a tad concerned about the recent scout parties of gunners we have seemed to be getting lately, and I missed the last bit. Should the need arise to return or to visit the temple, the acolytes and me have the key to enter the power plant itself and activate it again. Mental note to self: first we activate the power, then we activate the relays. It seems my precautions were not in vain, as a small party of gunners entered through the emergency exit. The Protectrons had no problem dealing with them, but we have to maintain alert. For added security, Blake and some brethren went and did something that I didn't quite catch at the end there. If you want to know what it said, make sure you get the mod yourself, or you can pause the video and read it properly. Yeah. So it's all quite realised as well. And say the dungeons, they've got beds for everybody, they've got the toilet for, you know. It's believable, you know. Sometimes you'll play a mod and it just like a few things just thrown in there, and you think, oh yeah, this doesn't seem that realistic. You know, if you overthink it. But like this one, I think this one's pretty well, yeah, immersive, I believe is the word that people like to throw around. Immersive. It's a word people like to throw around, and I keep forgetting that word. I've got videos where I'm going, gives of an eye, I can't remember what the word is. Immersive.
Huh?
But every now and again, you can hear other people, other enemies. I think here I could hear another enemy, and I couldn't work out where they were. The trouble is with doing my narration later is that I don't actually get to hear the sound from the video while I'm recording narration. It's quite annoying actually. Yeah, but I'm using a really rubbish old video editing software. It's basically the free Microsoft Movie Maker. I have got PowerPoint or PowerPlay or something, but that's just seems overly annoying and harder to use, and not necessarily any better in some cases. Right, so I'm back here in the first room. I don't know what this must have been the Gaul that I saw through the grill when I came out of the other room a while back. I don't know where it was hiding all this time. It was playing a bit of a game of hide and seek with me for a while there, but finally pinpointed it and blew a hole in it, as you do. As you do if you have any sense. I've actually been playing another mod. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll probably do a review of it at some point. It's quite big actually. I'll definitely do some kind of review. And at one point you get a ghoul mask. I wondered if I was wearing the ghoul mask, whether the actual feral ghouls would attack me. Yeah, it's worth investigating sometime maybe. Yeah, I think I'm now trying to find the computer that does the relays and the power and that. Yeah, still need to do the main power and the power relay. So I'm like, where do I have to go? I ended up walking up and down the stairs about 3 times. I've done you the decency of getting rid of that bit. There you go. This is it. I didn't realise it was here. I had picked up a key, and this was the next place to go. Hooray! A new part of the facility to check out. These rooms kind of connect to each other from various levels, so you go downstairs, walk around a bit, and you come up the other stairs, up through one of the other doors on that same level.
We're in the clear.
Yeah, crewmen. A few of them are called crewmen. I don't know what they were the crew of. I don't remember seeing any mention to, some kind of ship or anything like that. Why they were called crewmen? Unless they were taken maybe from the in-game, the feral ghouls on the submarine. They're, the Chinese submarine, which is underneath the softer coasts somewhere. I can't remember what that mission is called. I wondered if that's where they're from. That's why they're called crewmen, maybe, on this. Maybe they were taken from there. And there's a corpse here. I'm assuming maybe they were sacrificed. Could be a sacrifice, maybe. I'm not too sure. We talked about the sacrifices, but you don't actually see any sacrifices going on. You do later on find somebody else who's been captured and you sort of rescue them. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure what the sacrifices were about. You might have seen a message there about wicked shipping, feet lock up, lacking beds or something. That's another one of those modded settlements. So it's not very good though. Actually, it's good location, but you can't scrap anything there. So it's kind of pointless to build. It's really sort of messy. There's radioactive barrels in the middle of the settlement. There's crates you can't get rid of. Cargo containers you can't get rid of. But yeah, I kind of use it as a feeder settlement. So I get people to come there, then I send them out to other places. Like Boston Airport or the Mechanist's Lair. There's lots of stuff you can pick up in this mod actually. If you're not over encumbered when you get here, there's plenty of stuff to pick up. Plenty of cool stuff to salvage. Lots of lovely scrap. So not much in the way of OP weapons, or you get a bit of armour actually on some of these things. A little bit of armour, but. No super duper weapons. Don't you just hate it when the whole room explodes when you shoot something? I'm not quite sure what happened there. I couldn't see any sign of there being any fuel on the floor. Often that will happen if there's fuel on the floor and you don't notice it. But yeah, that was a rather big explosion for one bullet in a robot. Did I accidentally hit a compressed fuel canister or something? Something blew up pretty good then. It's taken all my willpower to only take the flamer fuel and not to take the steel and other stuff from the robots. Yes, right, I'm looking at all these, wondering if any of these are the power relays. All these things on the walls. If it's be typical if one of these switches somehow they've made it, you know, through the mod that one of these switches is the rather than a typical console, you know. So that's why I was looking at everything in great depth. Something detected me. Yep. Feral ghouls. They are sneaky sods. They hide in all the strangest places. And there's another blinking Handy, Mr. Handy. I'm surprised there was no Mr. Gutsies actually. There's quite a lot of enemies in this. I could quite see Hasj putting in a Hasj01, putting in a few Gutsies as well, but no, unfortunately no Gutsies and no sentry bots. Oh yeah, something happened with my shooting here. For some reason it was refusing to shoot this crewman. Not quite sure why. But I managed to take him out. Bang! Good shot, me. Pat myself on the back. Yeah, I was working out where to go next. I thought I'd check down here first, then I'd go back along the way I was going. I don't like to miss anything, so I'll try to work out what is the best route to take everything in. There's another one of those explosions again where you actually shoot something. Didn't do much to the drinking ghouls though. Yeah. Take out a leg, my favourite tactic. Because if they're tougher than you expect, you put, and you know, one bullet doesn't kill them. If you're shooting them in the legs, then you know it's going to slow them down. Quite often, blow their leg off, and then they just sprawl around on the floor, and you can take out. Especially if there's a big group, go for the legs. If you could take a couple of legs out, you can concentrate on the ones that still, you know, those ones go down. They might not be dead, but at least they've gone down. They're not attacking you, and then you've got time to take out the ones that are still standing upright. That's my tactic for taking out ghoul hordes. Right, yeah, there was another stair going down there, but I thought, well, I've not investigated this level yet. If I go down here, I'm going to miss something out on this level, so pop back up here, check to see if that was a relay. It wasn't. Get back out here. This is the yeah. So this leads me back to the original landing you come to. Right, this is just the toilet and the bathroom. We have all the mod cons here. Someone hung himself in the toilet, did they? Or they just perched there to give you a fright. That's back where I killed the guy who was working sitting at the workbench. So I've kind of explored most of this level now. I think a little bit further in this main room. A little bit further here to explore. And then I can go down the stairs. Ghoul cultists ahead. Quite a few of them. I saw this pallet hanging down off of this chain. I thought, yeah, this would be a good place to snipe from. And I see there's a feral ghoul on the ground as well, not far away from me. One dead ghoul cultist.
What the?
Trouble is, the chain that's hanging down in front of me does block my shots a couple of times, most annoyingly. You saw there, first shot should have hit him, but I think the chain blocked it. Oh, someone's got a bazooka. You know what happened to the last guy who shot me with a bazooka? That's what happened to him, same as just did to you. Looks like a canister's blown up in front of me as well. Right, this one got away from me that time. You won't be so lucky again. Just poke your head out. Poke your head out, see how long you last. Alright, more shots than I would have liked, but you're dead now. This one I think I'm safe from that encounter. Ferals. Ferals crawling out of their feral pits. Lucky hours alert to their danger. And not just in front of me, I think it's behind as well. And then if you wait till you get to a certain point before they emerge from their holes, they have time to change weapons. Multiple enemies, so better to have a weapon that fires more bullets more quickly. And there you go, they come up from behind me as well. It's an ambush, a feral ghoul ambush. And look, a glowing one. They are creepy. And now he's hobbling. And now he's dead. Glowing one, hobbling one, dead one. That's the proper order for the evolution of a radioactive ghoul. Anyone got any caps? Give me a cap, so I'll take your spoon and your weapons and your pre-war money. You can keep wooden block on this occasion. Yeah, that pallet hanging down kind of got in the way a little bit. It was kind of stopping me from walking. Yeah, I didn't bother taking the armour. Oh, it's a baseball bat, yeah, and they didn't bother with those. Most often the melee weapons, special melee weapons, are a bit rubbish actually. Not always, but often. Stuff like enraging batons and stuff like that. Well, they're already going to be angry because you've whacked them over the head with a baton. It's like, yeah, it seems really, really quite pointless. Quick draw, that kind of thing. It's like, yeah, okay. Never really bothered with quick draw stuff. I like it to have extra effects like burning or freezing or radiation. Sometimes you get stuff with two effects. You might get a bleeding radiation gun, mightn't you? So that's bleeding radium rifles are quite good. I'm pretty sure I've picked up one of those in the past. Right, power terminal. Power terminal. Enable power. Enabling main power. Initiate startup sequence. Sequence successfully completed. Blah blah blah. Like main power shutdown. Shutdown failed. Administer access something or other. Yeah, I didn't want to shut down the power anyway. Now the power is on. I think water starts rushing. Assuming some hydroelectric power kind of deal going on. I'm assuming they must have created this themselves, this whole thing. Unless it's come somewhere from already existent in the game and have repurposed it for this mod. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I'm assuming it's... I don't remember that water rushing before, so I'm assuming it's started after I've turned the power off. Unless I am mistaken. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't doing that when I first came here, was it? Is it some kind of hydroelectric power thing, or is it a sewer system overflowing or something? I don't know. What I do know is I think I've got the power going now. That was the power, wasn't it? Now it's the time to do the relay, I believe. Let's first look around, make sure I haven't missed anything. I'm not too sure. Oh, there's a little marker there. I'll head that way, shall I? Probably makes sense. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. More action going on here. There's one in the back. Killed him quick and fell over quite gracefully. Another one gone. Their strength's more in their numbers. Individually they're quite easy and quite quick to kill. Actually, one bullet from the deliverer is pretty cool. But when you suddenly get a troop of them discover you, like I do here, it starts getting a bit tricky. I should have lobbed a few grenades through that doorway. Instead I tried to get a bit cute and, well not really, but I tried to sort of see, to case that situation first, and that's when they all spotted me. That's when the blinking machine gun turret sparked up as well. So I've got machine guns above and I've got cultists in front and yeah, well, more than one turret as well.
We're in the clear.
I should have checked out for those before actually. trying to do the old VATS, but it just picked up the cultists from the window rather than picking up the turrets. I wonder if they didn't pop out until I came out into the walkway. Maybe they were triggered when I, maybe they were stuck in recesses or something, and they only popped out of the ceiling after I walked out. I'm not too sure. Took them a while before they activated. Anyway, yeah, this guy, this is one of like the main cultists in a second. He's got a powerful weapon. Nearly kills me. I was, yeah. If I had a bit of it quicker on the old button and sucked a few stim packs or whatever, I would have been brown bread, mate. This guy here, Deacon Blake, yeah, he's got the old star, and he's got the old. Look at my health going down. He's got the old star. He's got the old Death's Head next to him. So definitely an enemy to be aware of, to be wary of. Yeah. Sometimes I cut out the when I'm giving myself health. I cut that out because it could be bothered to watch. But yeah, in the heat of the battle like this, I thought I'd leave it in so you could see what I did. I think I'd take a few. Yeah, I think I might take some jet or something. Yeah. And take out the old wounder. It's a bleeding 10mm. Alright. I don't know actually what happened to him because 1 minute I didn't realise how he died. That guy. Surely it wasn't dog meat. Dog meat didn't take him out. I shot him a few times with the bleeding 10mm. So maybe I did enough shots that the bullet wounds, made him bleed out. Maybe plus a little bit from old dog meat. Yeah, I picked up the wrong weapon. Yeah, he's got this troubleshoot fiery institute rifle, and I was thinking, that must be it. There's a restricted area key and a few other bits of stuff. And I picked this up, thinking, well, maybe that was a weapon he was hitting me with. It wasn't. It was this thing over here, a focused, boosted, fiery Gatling laser. I didn't bother taking it though, because I knew I was already over encumbered. And as you can see, my armour's getting worn now as well. My legs have gone. My leg armour's gone. And I believe there's another terminal in here that I have to power the relays or whatever it is. Power terminal. I think I have a little mooch around first before I have a little mooch around to see what goods I can find. There's another terminal at the back here as well. Toilet, I think. Yep, toilet. Yep, all the mod cons. Yes, a cymbal playing monkey on the toilet. Quite big on monkeys in this one actually. You've got Jangles the moon monkey, and you've got the cymbal playing monkey who's quite creepy. Unlock power management control room exit door. Okay. As per safety instructions, the power management control room door is only to be unlocked during shift change. Ah, yeah, you didn't catch that. But you got the drift. It looks like a shift change must have been coming up soon because there's some guys up there, as you'll see in a moment. Another cultist altar for calling up Dagon and Mother Hydra. There's another, as I was talking about Pickman earlier on, Pickman's galleries from Pickman's model, another short story. And in Pickman's model, I think his model is a ghoul. Not the same ghouls as the radioactive ghouls, but like a flesh-eating ghoul who preys on dead bodies and eats the flesh of dead bodies. I believe that's what it is anyway, in Pickman's model. And then you've got, on the Point Lookout DLC, you've got, is it the Kravognak, something like that. It's not from Lovecraft, it's obviously based on the Necronomicon. Activate power relay, so that's it. Main power is enabled. Initiate startup. That's it. So nothing to read on there, just a button to press and to perform an action. Alright, let's go up these stairs now, because I'm pretty sure I've checked out the rest of this area. And this is the next shift, I think. The next shift, getting ready to start. They've worked their last shift, that's all I can say. Their days of praying to Cthulhu are over. And you notice that one, he's got a stealth boy. There's quite a few who've got stealth boys actually. That's another little element that was added that this guy used. Has G, whatever it is, 01. So they've got stealth boys, they've got bazookas. Later on you'll find them in power armor as well. So they're really quite a tough little mission, this one. Make sure you come prepared. Come prepared for bear. Come prepared for Yaogwai. Although there are no actual Yaogwai, but you know, it's a phrase. Yeah, a lot of them sparking, what they call it, fuse boxes. I saw a few of them around, so I kept thinking that one of them had something to do with the relay I had to unpower. But I think this is a different room to one I came in before, but there's a corpse in the same position. I'm assuming it's a different room anyway, because yeah, it must be. Although I'm not 100% sure actually. If I've just come back to that room again, because that corpse is in the same position. Or if it's just a similar looking room from somewhere else in the place. I think it's the same room. But then there's a couple of ghouls in here that I killed, and now it's got cultists in it instead. I'm not sure. But that corpse in the position on the turbine in the radioactive shallow waters, that was definitely somewhere else in the game. If it wasn't the same room, there is. I don't know, I lose track. Right. Now I think I have to find the metro tunnels, I believe. I didn't notice what popped up. It does. It's quite actually. It's very good for knowing what you've got to do. You know, you've got the directional arrows all the time there, so you know where you've got to go. Sometimes you're doing a mod, you haven't got a clue what you're meant to be doing. Sometimes you're just wandering around aimlessly. But this is. There's a bit of this discovery, like this bit here. I'm not sure how many people would have found this. This isn't the way you have to go. It's just like a hidden place, really. It's like a hole in the wall. I thought it was the way to go for the mission, but it turns out not to be. Here's a jungle, a moon monkey, looking quite creepy under the water with his glowing face mask. Yeah, cultures of a stealth boy. Yeah, over here there's a hole in the wall. I nearly get attacked under the water as well, actually. I do get attacked under the water. I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often in the game, actually. I mean, when you fall in the water, like if you're walking underwater, you don't get attacked that very often. There you go, check them out. Oh, he's a bit more of a bugger. They always are, these Milo hunters with their acid spitting nonsense. All the different Mirelurks are mutations of different species of crab and lobster, aren't they? I was talking about how H.P. Lovecraft's very influential in heavy metal music. His works, his horror works have become very influential. Look at how he died, that skeleton. It's quite creepy. Like he was cowering in pain. But yeah, I also do a podcast, a heavy metal podcast, and every year I do a Cthulhu Mass, which is basically all bands that are influenced by H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos. I do that once a year. First Sunday after Christmas is Cthulhu Mass. And also recently did my podcast, I did a Fallout themed show as well. Every band was themed, you know, the songs they played on their name of the band fit with the Fallout theme. So I had, you know, I found the band Escape from the Vault, I think one of the bands were called, something like that. I found a song called My Alert King, stuff, all that kind of ilk. You get the drift. So if you're into heavy metal, I'll put a link for my podcast in the description. There's a bit of a glitch there. You see that, a bit of a glitch between that one room and the other. There's not many of those, so I've pointed it out there. There's not many glitches really in this mod. It's all pretty good. It was a bit weird as well. Just a minute ago, you might see when I was shooting those eggs, because I hate them when they hatch. They're annoying. And I was shooting them. There was no way was it going anywhere near Ellen, but she was moaning like I was shooting her, which was annoying. So calm your britches. I ain't shooting you, I'm shooting his eggs. But yeah. Right, we're coming up, I think, to the end of this part. I'm going to call this part 1 pretty soon, because it's coming up to about an hour. And there's a nice little break where I go into the next section. I think it's the metro part next. But I have to go, but you know that door that we couldn't open initially? It's got a button next to it. It says you have to enable the power and then the relays in that order. This is where I'm coming up to. So here we are. We see it here. It has power. Control room exit. So down we jolly well go. And this leads us to the subway. Fort Hagen Metro.